We're back to learn Torah's Hashem. Not sure what you did during the break. Hopefully nothing too usher. You know, obviously there are internets in your homes and there are TVs and Hashem Yerachim. Barasi Yitzar, Barasi Torah Tavlin. Baruch Hashem, you have the Torah to save you from all the other tumah that goes on. Halvai, we should be zoich in the field as always. Okay, we're continuing the third portion of Gemara for the Bechina. The Gemara in Chav Vav Mebei is about the middle of the large lines, towards the end of the line. Amar Rav Nachman. Find it on your page. Mamish smack in the middle of the larger lines. Amar Rav Nachman towards the end of the line. Amar Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman says, this is not Rav Nachman of Breslov. Rav Nachman of Breslov lived a couple hundred years ago. This is the Heilige Rav Nachman. Hachashir al harayas. Literally someone who's suspected of doing harayas. We said perhaps he's seen all the time hanging out in seclusion with women, married women, non-married women, whatever it might be. He's constantly flirting, he's very flirtatious, and he's constantly looking like he's up to something that Hamevin Yavin, we know what he's doing behind closed door, and we don't have any proof to that. We don't necessarily know that he did anything right, but Achashid, alright, he's suspected for a lot of good reason. So Rav Nachman said kosher aid is he's still kosher to be an aid. He's still kosher to be an aid. Why is he kosher to be an aid? So we gave three possibilities. You have to know this. This is number 5 on your sheet. Give 3 reasons it's halacha of Rav Nachman. Number 1, he's only suspected. We don't know he did anything wrong, so he's not considered a rasha. He's only chashid, all right. Number 2, we said yatra takfo. When it comes to arayas, maybe he did something wrong, maybe arayas, but that's the biggest Yetzer Hara in the world. We have no bigger Yetzer Hara than arayas. Halvai, you guys should have shmir seinayim during Ben Azmanim especially, and be strong because it's so big the Yetzer Hara for arayas. But just because you give in to Yetzer Hara arayas doesn't mean you're going to give in to any other isurim. Just because he gave in to be promiscuous with some woman doesn't mean he's going to lie for money and lie in court and lie as a witness. So yatra toikfo, we say, his Yetzer Hara grabbed onto him and took hold of him when it came to arayas. But that doesn't tell us about him in any other way of his life, and therefore he's still kosher to be an aid. That's the second possibility. The third possibility we said was Rav Nachman holds like Rava in the next daf that we didn't learn together, but we said there's a machlokas Abai and Rava holds only isurim that you do that are connected to money. Chimad mamon would make you possible to be an aid, possible to be a dayan. But if it has nothing to do with money, it's about something else, so we don't know that you'd lie in court. You're still kosher to be an aid just because you did isurim of some other nature. So that would be the third possibility of why he's kosher v'leidus. Okay, Amar Nachman Chashid al Rayas kosher v'leidus. That's Rav Nachman. Comes along Amar Rav Sheshes. Ani Mari, answer me, my master. Arbon bekaspe, 40 lashes on his shoulder. The kosher. It's like a bit me if that's a good question. The kosher, he gets lashes. This guy gets lashes and he's kosher. You're going to allow him to be an aid even though he gets makos? Obviously he's a rasha. Now, number 6 on the sheet, why is he getting makos if he was only suspected? So we pointed out that there's makos midrabanan, rabbinic lashes that one can get just by lo toiva shmua, meaning when there's bad news about someone, he's suspected of doing something bad. And, you know, it's like the line goes, you know, if it smells like a rabbit and looks like a rabbit, it's a rabbit. I don't know if it's about a rabbit, it's about something else, but whatever it is. So this guy, you know, it smells like he did a rayas, it looks like he did a rayas. We basically know. So the rabbis say, you did enough bad, we'll give you lashes even for that. So that's what he's getting lashes for, on a rabbinic level. So Abai says, this guy gets lashes. Rav Sheshes says, Rav Sheshes says, this guy gets lashes and he's going to be kosher to be a witness? Of course not. So Rav Sheshes argues on Rav Nachman. Now the Gemara qualifies Rav Nachman. Amar Rava says, Umoider Rav Nachman linen edis isha shu pasol. Rava says that even Rav Nachman who says he's kosher, that's only regarding money. But if it comes to be regarding a woman, at this point we think either giving testimony that she's going to get married, for example, to be Eid Kedushin, to be underneath the chuppah and see the chassan slide the ring on her finger and be a witness that she's married, or to be a witness that she's divorced, to sign a divorce document, or be a witness that her husband died so she could become an almana. So any of those cases regarding women, he's puzzled. That even Rav Nachman agree that he's moider Rav Nachman in Eidis Isha regarding Eidis Isha, shu puzzled that he's puzzled. Because maybe he's only giving that testimony so he could get with her, because he's suspected of arayas. Within the area of arayas, he's still puzzled. Mammon, we don't know. That's Rava's qualification of Rav Nachman, which would seem like the third answer we just gave before on this question sheet would make most sense, but not for now. Then we qualify it even more. Amar Ravina v'itemer Rav Papa. Ravina, and some say Rav Papa say Lo Amran. We don't say this idea that Rav Nachman passes him by Isha. Ela lafuka, only to get her out of a marriage. That he's puzzled. To say that she's divorced or to say that she's widowed. Because there we're suspecting that he's going to want to do that, even though he's lying, so he could get with her. So he could spend time with her and do promiscuous relations with her. But to help her enter into a marriage, to enter into a marriage, to get married, to be a kedushin, to be a yichud, to help her get into a marriage. There's no problem with that. Just because, why would he lie about that? If he's suspected of a rayas, he doesn't want her married. So obviously he's telling the truth. So comes along again, Ravina, and some say Rav Papa, and they qualify more that even within Eidus Isha, it's only to get her out of the marriage. That's where we suspect that he's lying. Rava said anything to do with Isha, that Rav Nachman would say he's puzzled. So we say Pshita, that's obvious. This din of Ravina, this din of Rav Papa is obvious. Obviously, we're only worried to get her out of the marriage. Why would we think we're worried to get her into the marriage? So Mao Desema, you might have thought, it's better for him that she's married. Why? The pasuk writes in Mishlei, Mayim genoivim yimtaku, stolen water sweeter. We like what's harder to get. We like when people play hard to get. We like things that are hard to get. It's a battle, and we like the battle, and it feels so much better and much more pleasure when we get it. So maybe he wants her to be married because he's playing games. That's his excitement. Now that she's married, it's going to be harder for him to get her. So therefore he wants her to be married. So therefore even that he's lying about. That would be the Havamina. The Maskana is no. Maskana is we don't say. Kamashwan, it comes to teach us, the Kama, the Kaima Hachi, when she's established like this, meaning she's single, Shrichale, it's more common for him, it's easier for him, it's more common that she'll want to be with him, and he'd rather, let's be real, there is a concept of Mayim Genovim Taku, but we don't want that. We'd rather she's easier for us. If it's more difficult, there's an excitement in that. But I'd rather her to leave a marriage than be in a marriage. So according to Ravina Rav Papa, that's why we will trust him to help her enter into a marriage, to be an aid for that, but not trust him to help her leave a marriage, because that's where it's more shchicha, that's where he'd want to be with her. According to Rava, everything's possible, it seems to be in Rav Nachman. And according to the initial statement of Rav Nachman, he's kosher for all edus. But for sure, for Mammon, he's kosher. And then we have this machlokas of qualification to understand Rav Nachman's opinion. Lamaisa, according to Rav Sheshes, he's aser and pasul for everything, because he's a Rasha, because he gets makus, even though they're on a Rabbanan level. That is the third segment of our Gemara. So now we're going to go to the final segment of really starts the last word on Chavav and Be'ez Yitmar, or the beginning of Chazayin and Aleph. But if you want to learn that, you can take a break if you need, and then you press right over here, and you'll get to the final segment of our learning of this semester. Learn Torah. It's your life.